Hey you guys, welcome to Officegrad. In this session, we are going to learn about VLookup function. This is my third video of Advanced Excel course series. In my previous two videos, we learned about count A, sum if and sum if s function, and different type of sum if s, like if you want to use sum if s with text criteria and the date range criteria. So if you haven't checked out my previous videos, I suggest you go back and check my previous videos to understand how do you start with a formula or the basic understanding of applying any Excel formula, and then hop on to the advanced version of formulas. All right. So today we are going to learn VLookup function. What is VLookup? VLookup, full form of VLookup is vertical lookup, and it is a very popular function of Microsoft Excel. It is widely used wherever we use in any office where Excel is used. VLookup is popularly used function. So what is VLookup? As I explained, it is vertical lookup. So for example, in this sheet, I have the different type of items that we have sold on these dates, and in this table, which is highlighted in yellow, I have per unit cost of these products. Now I want to find the binder and get this per unit cost over here in order to calculate total sale value of this binder or of this record. So for this I will be using VLookup function. Let's say if I had to do it manually, I would copy this at 99. I will paste it in F2 and I will multiply this per unit cost into units, and this is how I will get the total sales for this record. However, what if the volume of your data is very high, let's say 100 or 200 records? It is not feasible and it is not recommended to do it manually because there is a chance of errors. Hence, we use VLookup. Now, the requirement of a VLookup is you need to have a unique key in both the data sets, right? So in this case, your unique key is the item name, and it is present in both the data sets, right? So binder is available in this as well as in this table. So let's get started. Type equals to VLookup bracket open. First, we need to select lookup value. As I mentioned earlier, lookup value is a unique key or unique identifier between the two data sets. In this case, my unique key is item name or product name. So I have selected D2, comma. Now we have to select the table array or a table from where we need to fetch the information which is per unit cost. In this case, the table array is L1 to M6. So I have selected L1 to M6, comma. Now we have to provide column index number. Column index number is this column. That means a column number where your result or output information resides. That means if I want to get a per unit cost of binder is my first column or product name is my first column and per unit cost is second column. So my column index number is 2. As let's say if my per unit cost would have been in N column or in O column, so my column index number will change to either 3 or 4. So we have to calculate it manually, like in which column number your output information resides, and accordingly we need to type it over here, comma 0 bracket close, hit enter. and this is how we get per unit cost for binder, and my total sales is calculated. Now let's copy this information to the last record and copy paste formula. We see that somewhere we see the information, somewhere we do not see the information. It is NA. Let's find out why. So what I have done is I have moved my cursor to this cell and I see that everything is perfect. I go back to NA and I try to find out what is the issue. So I see that my table array information is changed from L1 to M6 to L3 to M8, right? It should have been L1 to M6. That is because I haven't freezed or I haven't made it absolute reference. So in order to make it absolute reference, we need to provide the dollar signs so that your column and row number is freezed. So I have applied this dollar signs to the column name as well as the row number. Column name as well as the row number. I hit enter and I copy and paste it to the last record. Now it is fetching the correct information. I will explain you what do you mean by freezing these column numbers or the row numbers. So let's say if I don't freeze number 1 and number 6, what will happen? Let's find out. So what I have done now is I did not freeze the row numbers. I just froze the column number, right? That means the column number L won't change, but the row numbers will change. So in this case, it won't work because we specifically want to freeze the column row numbers. So that is why we have to freeze number 1 and number 6, and we hit enter. And let's copy and paste this information to the last record and find out. Now it is absolutely correct. It is throwing the correct information. So this is how this VLookup function works. In my next video, I will also help you understand how can you combine VLookup with any other function like if or if and how can you work towards that, which is a little advanced function of this. There is one drawback of VLookup function. Let's say if my product name column is over here and per unit cost is in this column, this formula will not work in that case. So the only drawback is, or the only requirement for using VLookup function is your output result should always be in the right side of the lookup value column. So if my lookup value is in L column, your per unit cost should be in the right side of the column only, and it cannot be on the left hand side. It won't work. VLookup formula will not work in that case. So guys, I hope I was able to help you understand the VLookup functionality. If you find this video helpful, please do write in the comment section that it was helpful. Your feedback is very important for me to understand if you're able to understand everything or not. In case of any suggestions that you have, please do suggest in the comment section so that it will help me to get more topics for my future videos. Thank you so very much for watching this video, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, guys. You know it is free. Thank you very much and happy learning.